With Hunter x Hunter coming back soon, it's only right to talk about this goated series, of course in my all-fiction style. Throughout the series, we've seen crazy abilities from moving at lightning speed, teleporting using dimensions, and just insane amounts of strength. NEN has a whole wide range of uses, but with such a big roster of powers, there are bound to be some duds in the mix. Here's a list of 10 NEN abilities that you don't want to have. Before I start, for the list to make more sense, think of it like you were transported into the Hunter x Hunter world and gifted one of these abilities, with no training or skills beyond your normal abilities. These 10s are the ones that you don't want to have. Number 10. We have Kite's NEN ability, Crazy Slots, which allows him to summon weapons from a clown roulette with the numbers 1 through 9, each number correlating with a different weapon. So far we've only seen 3 numbers, number 2 a scythe, number 3 a mace, and number 4 a carbine. Yeah, we know Kite's really strong, and no matter what number he got, he proved to be very skilled with it. And, well, two things. One, it's Kite who's skilled and experienced enough to use these weapons, and I am not. There are people out there who would definitely be good at using some weapons like the carbine or mace, but no way all different 9 weapons. And number 2, it's completely random every single time, no matter the situation, and you have to use the ability in order for it to return. I know it's a bit weird, but with my bad luck, I had this idea that I would get the same number constantly, and get really good with it. Then one day I'll get a new number and it'll ruin me. The ability itself is strong, it's just luck and skill that guides the ability. So it's going to be hard to use for normal people like us. That's why it's a 10. Number 9. Tag and Conjured crossbow and claws used by the Chimera ant Cheetu. Starting with the former, Tag activates when touching the target. Afterwards, both the user and target are enclosed in the space made by NEN. The target has to tag the user before the 8-hour time limit is up. We haven't seen what happens if Cheetu isn't tagged, however. The second ability is Conjured crossbow and claws, which is exactly what it sounds like. An arm-mounted crossbow that shoots arrows and has a claw extension at the end of it. So you're telling me that I'm trapped in an arena for 8 hours just to play tag? Remember, we don't even get Cheetu's speed, so we have a whole works day of running and avoiding the person we trapped in here. Plus, the person can still use their NEN abilities as we've seen with Morel. The crossbow and claws would definitely come in handy, but since I'm not a weird cheetah hybrid thing, this ability isn't very useful to me. It's just more complicated. So 9's a good spot. Number 8. My favorite Phantom Troop member, Phaeton's ability, Painpacker, which allows the user to summon a suit of armor, and after summoning it, he can change his arm to a blazing heat like a sun for an attack, with the suit protecting him and giving him oxygen. And yes, I love him and his abilities, but after you learn the specifics, you'll realize why he's here. Unfortunately, there's a catch to this awesome sounding power. In order to summon the suit, you have to take damage, and the strength of the giant sun attack directly correlates to how much pain you receive, and the injuries you get. So if you want something stronger than a candle, you have to purposely put yourself in harm's way. And I don't know if I can personally sustain much damage without running away or passing out. Like, the ability is cool, but the amount of danger I put myself into doesn't make it worth it. What if someone cuts off my leg? Like, now I have a really strong attack, yes, but now I have a missing leg. Just because I wanted to power up. Number 7. Pacos' NEN ability, Rainbow. This ability changes the user's aura into differently colored NEN arrows that can shoot using his left hand as a bow. Okay, so like, it's not a bad ability, and for Pacos' hunting background, having these arrows makes sense. But it's so lame, even the people on this list have better looking, more effective, and just stronger abilities. Not to mention that you have to manually aim these arrows, and without Pacos' skills, I doubt I could hit anything that's not 2 feet away from me. Remember, you're basically transported to this Hunter x Hunter world with only the NEN ability, no training, and just your normal skills. These arrows have a very high learning curve, so that'll leave you pretty vulnerable in the open. Number 6. Great Haiku, the NEN ability used by Basho. The power allows the user to write a haiku on a piece of paper, and whatever they write down becomes real. For example, if the user writes this haiku here, and then activates the ability, a tsunami or a wave will appear. For clarification, a haiku is a type of poem with only 3 lines. The first and last lines need to use 5 syllables, while the second line uses 7 syllables. I might be exposing myself here, but for the longest time I didn't know what a haiku was, and I had to look it up to remind myself for this video. I'm not the best at writing, but even I, with time, can write a haiku with the intended effect that I want. For what I've seen here, there's no time limit between writing the poem and then using it, so I'll stock up on them and then activate when I need to. Then, I learned that the effect or strength of the power depends on the quality of the poem. So if my writing is trash, nothing useful or remarkable happens. It's like my 11th grade teacher in a NEN ability. I can make as many poems as I want, but unless I learn the art of haiku writing, I basically won't have an ability. Number 5. Guido's ability. Literally, that's it. That is it. Does this have any upsides? Like really, Guido can increase his top's power, but he can't really control their path. You basically say, go bump into each other, and then just let them go. Also, can these tops even work on grass, mud, or something that isn't smooth ground? Like, how does that work? It's a bad power, and you know it's a bad power. Number 4. The Orthos siblings. The Orthos siblings have 2 abilities, one for each sibling. The sister's power allows her to conjure a tag to place on a person, and when it's on, it directly links to the brother's technique that conjures a dartboard and then plays a game of darts, with each part of the board correlating to a body part of the person who is tagged. The darts are imperceivable and unavoidable until they make contact and do damage to the person. For this situation, let's say that you get both abilities combined into one. First, I have to get close enough to place the tag onto someone, then I have to run away from the enemy and get to a safe place so I can conjure up this dartboard made with NEN. After all that, I have to play a full game of darts, which is 20 to 40 minutes. Spoiler alert, I'm not very good at darts, and the last shot needs to be exact. If I miss the winning shot, all the damage done to the target goes back onto me. Like, good luck with that. Every part of this ability is difficult and downright not good. Even if you're a professional darts player, this power has so many conditions that will lessen your chances of success. Like, it's not worth it. Number 3. Binot's ability, Scissorhands. Scissorhands activates after he cuts his target's hair and eats it. When he eats the hair, he learns the physique-related information, like age or strength, regarding the target. Okay, gross. This is a very gross ability that relies on your personal capabilities to get close enough to the target to cut their hair. And once you cut their hair and eat it, do you get a power boost? Do you copy the target's power? No. You just get information about their physical qualities. Good to know that guy is stronger than me. I mean, I could tell just by looking at them, but alright, thanks for that. Maybe you can learn the weaknesses they have, but that wasn't stated, so I don't want to make this lame power seem better by assuming. Number 3, definitely. Number 2, Leech Manipulation, used by Leech. He has a sac in his body used to store leeches. Some cure diseases, some give diseases, but they all love eating flesh. Okay, so explanation time over. So, nope, no, nope, no leeches. Also, look at this. It was possible he used manipulation in order to prevent them from turning on him. Possible? Shouldn't that be a given if the leeches are in my body? Yeah, no thank you, nope. Number 1, Leo's NEN ability, Rental Pod. Their power allows him to temporarily borrow the NEN abilities of other people. In order to borrow the powers, Leo has to first know what the ability's name is or see it being used. Then, he has to do the owner of the ability a favor. After the owner acknowledges the favor, Leo has access to the ability for a limited amount of time. I hate him. I hate his face. I hate his ability. I hate his name. Like Leo? Almost like lion, but not. I hate it. I get the first part of the ability, having to know the name or seeing it being used. It makes sense. However, a favor is normal. I do stuff for people all the time and I don't ask for something in return. But for this ability, okay, sure, I'll try it. Then I have to ask a question like, you owe me, right? And the person has to accept that. Meaning, I could be like, you owe me one, okay? And the other person says, no, you're weird. And then the ability just doesn't work. You can't even cheat the system. If your friend has some cool NEN ability and you're able to do them a favor, you only have access to this ability for 1 hour. Plus, while using this borrowed power, the owner of the ability can't use it. So there's no tag teaming going on. You can stack up on favors having multiple chances to use someone's power, which is nice. But after how many favors do you do people just start thinking you're a nice person and stop agreeing to owing you one? I can't decide if announcing this ability is better than keeping it a secret. Like, unless you come across friendly people that let you do a favor, and they have good abilities that you want to borrow, then this power sucks. The ability can also double as a music player, which helps the user track how much time is left in their hour limit. But after a while, all my music will get boring, so that's just another sad side to this. Wow, okay. I kind of let out some emotions there. But I can't wait for Hunter x Hunter to come back. Manga of the year, hands down, and you guys know it. If you want to know what the best NEN abilities are, let me know in the comments down below. Hunter x Hunter is too good not to talk about. Alright, peace.